3, 2, 1, go.
So I got my little poom poom right here next to me.
Your pocket pussy?
Nah, my actual kitty.
Y'all fucking, I swear. That's how you want to start out the first like Discord podcast? That's okay.
I told you, man. I just wing it. That's it. All right, but
I mean, technically it's a small pussy. You can put them in your pocket pussy, right?
Hey, cargos. I got cargos. I got the cargo sweats. I got my joggers with the deep pockets. All that. We can make it work.
Get that intro going, Ty.
Yes, because Robert gave me the look with his handsome self.
Well,
Hello.
look, I don't know about any look.
He gave me the look. The look. Anyways, hello, everybody. Hello to my fellow brothers. I miss you guys. Quarantine sucks without y'all. And hello to the fans that will eventually see this because they exist somewhere in the world, just nowhere near me. You feel me? So, shoot, this is kind of weird for me. I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, dang, I'm actually doing the podcast from home, looking at my phone right now. But I mean, this is just what we got to do. We got to do it so that we can continue to make our videos and stay up to date with everything and everybody. And this is our way. You know this is a hell of a lot. What?
If this works out, we can actually do this if I end up going back up north.
See?
There's another solution. Just don't go back up north. Like, I don't see that. That makes more sense to me.
That too.
I'm trying. I
need you to try a little harder. Just like how you try for all your other numbers.
All right.
So, well, okay. Speaking of going up north, though, let's give our updates, Chris. What's going on with you? How's quarantine?
Quarantine. I've gotten a little crazy. You know, I refuse to eat a lot of carbs. I put myself through a diet. My diet, not anybody else's diet. You know, just my version of I want to tone down. Like on the fat, get slim on that shit, but not too much. So I have like 3 cheat days, which isn't really good. But you know, there's more. Right? It works for me. It works for me.
If it's working, I mean, hey, who is anybody else to give you shit for it?
Exactly.
It
don't matter.
Exactly. What else? I started working for the DA. So that's cool. Yeah. You know, she's not Jackie Lacey, but it's under her, one of her deputy DAs. So that's pretty cool. The prosecutor that I'm assigned to is actually really chill. Yeah, I can't really give much more information, but she's cool.
Dang.
What else?
Is that private?
Yeah, they even call you with blocked numbers. Like, shit's wild.
Yikes.
Most I could really give is that I'm working on an interesting case. I told you guys, you know, on the sideway was, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you guys? What's up? What's up with everything with quarantine?
Should I go or should you go?
Well, I mean, you just showed one of your big things. So Ty has adopted a new baby pussy. Why don't you give us the update on that there, Ty?
It completely happened at random. Because originally,
don't they always?
This thing is going ham on this little mouse right now. He's all right, but yeah, this cat happened completely at random. One of my coworkers, a shift actually. He's a good friend of mine, and he was telling me like when our store opened back up that he was moving, and everybody's like happy for him. Even our manager was like, "Oh, let me give you a table." It was cool, but when he moved in, like the next week, he was like, "Hey, I found kittens in my attic." I'm like, "Ooh, you should take care of the kittens, cause that sounds like fun." He's like, "Yeah, but I can't because my fiance has 2 dogs and one of the dogs doesn't like the kittens. On top of that, I can't really afford to take care of 4 kittens plus 2 dogs."
Word.
So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I told him like, well, give me some time to see if I can, make some space for a kitten. Because originally I didn't want a kitten until I moved out. Because right now I'm planning on moving out anywhere between next month and July. Not the toes. Don't bite the damn toes.
Damn, that pussy's a freak.
Well played, Chris. I'll give you that one.
That was nice.
I try.
Yeah,
oh, you should have named it George, bro.
Why George?
Because he likes feet.
Toes. Oh my gosh, y'all childish. But yeah. So as soon as I told my shift supervisor, like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. The man was like, I'm on my way. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, dude, if you can take care of it, take care of them. I trust you with the cats. Like, just do it. I'd rather them be in your hands than in somebody else's or even at the pound. I'm like, okay.
True.
You got it. So for almost 2 weeks now, I've been taking care of little Bastion. Only problem is, when I first seen Bastion, I thought he had balls. Now every time I look at him, I don't see balls. So I'm scared that I have the wrong assumption.
My update, I don't know what's new with me. I mean, just school. I was thinking about volunteering. I think yeah. Well, we talked about that already in one of the past podcasts.
Oh.
But
it's longer.
Yeah. There's what was I going to say? I was thinking about volunteering for COVID testing, which I told you guys about.
Yeah.
And there aren't really any other updates. It's just me staying home watching shit. But one thing I do want to cover before we get into our first really big topic is I think George is a bitch. I think we just gotta put that out there because he missed yesterday. He missed today. I just think we should kick him off the podcast, guys.
And put your core on.
Yeah, and put your core on. Yeah. Or D or anybody really. Could be anybody.
Honestly,
I'm trying to meet the Schmeat.
All right, man. I mean, I think you can handle it. Just you're gonna be lost for words. That's one person that will take all the words out your mouth.
Jakor?
He still messages me sometimes, which is cool. I like getting to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, he be hitting me up too sometimes. Just like, yeah, I just want to check on you, Thief. Like, wait, what does he call me? He call me Tittis.
He's a thoughtful guy. He has that poem Instagram as well.
Yeah,
I would give it a shout out. I don't remember the @ so I'll put it in the description when I put this episode out.
No worries. I hope you look forward to when I get the chance.
But anyway, so those are our updates. Unless anybody has anything else.
There's a fire next door to my house. Burned down apartment. The whole apartment is gone.
That was crazy. And for a minute there, because I went back and I reread your story a couple times. I thought it was your apartment that burned down, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, this is the apartment now. It's just straight rubble. And what I found out is that apartment has been standing there since like 1926.
Damn.
So this apartment is over 100 years old, or almost 100 years old, I should say. Yeah. And out of nowhere, just because of an electrical fire, they finally figured out what it was. The electrical fire started off at the bottom, worked its way to the top, and it just wouldn't stop. Bars.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Yeah, this fire lasted from, it started around 2:30ish in the morning, but they're clocking it in at 3 o'clock. And it literally went on for about 12 hours.
Wow.
It was crazy.
And you had to evacuate for a bit, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of the building collapsing, they were afraid that the collapse would come towards my house. Mm-hmm. So they wanted us to evacuate. Along with all the smoke damage, they really needed us to go. So we stayed in some hotels in El Segundo, and that was fun. Little Bastion got to like meet the other two cats that we have, and they were just running around the apartment. Well, I keep saying apartments, the hotels. And yeah, it was cool. It was a crazy experience. Definitely was crazy. I was traumatized for a little bit just because like how close the fire was, and then knowing that there was another fire in downtown that same day that was way worse than this one. I'm like, that was just a shitty day.
Yeah.
I heard about
that fire was worse. But
it's crazy though. Shit is happening a lot in one single day. I mean, I think it was 2 weeks ago on Wednesday there was like I think seven drive-bys just in South LA alone.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were telling us it's going up in your neighborhood. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Shit is fucking wild. So I'm chilling, watching Rick and Morty on Hulu. I gotta catch up on everything.
Yeah, naturally.
You're right.
It's like I didn't hear all the other ones, but 125, you just hear like 10 gunshots down the block. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are those fireworks?
Do you think more people are doing drive-bys because they don't want to get close enough to actually catch the Rona from people? So they're like,
I'm starting to think that.
So they're like, I'll just get in a car instead. I'm not going to meet him in person.
Right. Like I was going to fight you, but instead I'm gonna scare you.
I'm just scare you, shoot at you, see if I hit anybody. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, in total, it's been like 3 dead, 12 in the hospital injured.
Jesus.
Yeah. So they hit somebody. I hope, I'm hoping they didn't touch those bullets, and they had the Rona because then they would have spread it like that. But
I think if they were shot, that's the least of their worries at this point.
What? So forget shooting bullets. We shooting Rona. Somebody out there with a 7th prestige Rona gun, maxed out.
Think about it. That shit would be fucking wild. Biological warfare.
I wouldn't put it past somebody at this point, especially with like the people we have down south getting all angry about like having to stay inside.
Oh yeah, dude.
I was like, I could imagine they love guns already, right? They get corona, they cough and a bunch of like shit, and they're like, okay, now I'm gonna shoot it at people.
Yeah, let me just shoot on my gun. I mean, that's terrible.
People are coughing out at Walmart workers and like grocery store employees.
I saw that video. What did you guys think of that about the protests that are going on in the South?
They stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Clearly, the West Side is the more intelligent side of America.
Well, we've known that for a while.
Big fact. But it's pointless. Like I don't understand why there needs to be a protest anyway. You're upset because of quarantine, but just like you're ignoring your own safety because you want stuff to go back to normal. Trust me, we all want things to go back to normal. This isn't fun. I miss going to my cousin's bar and getting free Jello shots and trying to shoot my shot with a girl I know I can't get. But hey,
you want to know why?
Having Chris as your wingman and all that shit. Yeah,
exactly. By the way, me and Chris need to go to the club.
True.
We all need to go to the gym once this shit is over. Honestly,
that too.
Yeah,
that too.
But no, I think it's kind of shitty, and I get it to some extent. Like with businesses, if you're a business owner and like you're just losing money constantly. Like I get, even though I disagree, like I get why they feel that way. But then you hear and you see these people complaining about not being able to go to the barber shop.
I need a haircut.
Right. Okay, so we know which side Chris is on here.
But I mean,
no. You're Chris. You're not allowed to talk.
Hold on. I mean, I don't need a barber shop for that. My barber lives in Riverside County. I just go visit him. Oh shit, my cat took over. Yeah. I just go visit him. He's my brother. But
nice.
It's easier to go to a barber shop sometimes, especially when you're the first motherfucker there. You don't have to wait for everybody else.
Well, do you guys feel like those should be essential businesses?
Honestly,
for some people, yes.
For some people, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I need you to explain.
All right. For those who don't like their hair at all, it's essential. For me, I give 0 fucks. I could go bald. I could go with hair. I could go short. I don't know. I could wear my hair in style, and I still wouldn't give a fuck. It's mainly because of the beard, and I know how to do it myself. But everybody else who doesn't know how to align their beard, align their hair, or do anything like that on their own, then they're kind of at an impasse and they need help.
Well, they might look like shit, but does that make it essential? Like, I feel like it's just like you can look like shit and that's fine. Like, it's not, people aren't, you're just living with your family or your significant other right now for the most part.
Here, let's do an example. You live with your girl, you ain't never seen her a day without makeup, and she's still wearing makeup while you're in the Rona, but she's never seen you without a fresh cut either. And then she starts seeing you without a fresh cut, and then, I mean, then what do you do?
So, well, doesn't
that ain't love.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say, Ty.
Drop
right?
that.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Somebody does that.
Drop that.
No,
hold on. Drop that. Bitch.
Yeah. And how's she going to leave as well? Like, we're all in quarantine.
Put her in the dumpster, roll her down the street. she'll be like safe in the trash, because that's what she is. Trash. Put her in the trash and roll her to her mama house.
Is this something you have personal experience with, Chris? Because this is not something that I would not think of this on my own in a million years.
This is shit I've seen on Instagram. So I saw this meme that said that barbershops need to open back up because guys out here are guys out here are looking ugly as fuck. And I'm thinking, damn, that's fucked up. You know, people started whipping out the bowls and started cutting their own hair like that.
Tell me
that's me when I was like 10.
I
remember that story. I will not say it, but I remember that story.
Yeah, there's if you're friends with me on Facebook, you can find plenty of photos that are not exactly flattering.
This looks so inappropriate.
My nephew had the haircut when he was younger. He had blonde hair, and you could see the straight bowl.
Terrible. I think I'm trying to get bowl cuts now just because I'll keep my hair. Terrible.
Yours. I was gonna say something, but it's inappropriate. But I like the hair, Ty. It looks fluffy. It looks.
I don't know why this will stop you from saying what you want to say, but thank you. And what's your question, Rob?
No, I'm curious because obviously, like, people have different types of hair, right? Like, I have white hair. Chris has fucking bullshit hair. And Ty has blackish hair, right? And there's right there the different textures and all that shit. Do you think it makes a difference as to how essential like a barber is? Like, is a barber less essential for a white person than it is for like a black person or whatever?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I would say it's less. I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's less essential for a black guy because that shit. In my opinion, it takes a while to grow back. Except Ty. He's a whole.
Oh, look, yeah. As soon as Chris realizes he's like 1/16 black, he's like, "Oh, I got so many takes to tell you guys."
Right.
I mean, you guys could do whatever you want with your hair, and it'll still look cool.
Who?
You?
What?
Yeah,
this hair is difficult.
Oh, you gotta do.
It's really difficult to work with.
Like. You could put a little wave cap on it. You could braid it. You could do some jerk curls. You could do whatever. Dreads, all that shit. And it still look cool. You can keep it like that for a long while.
See, but now you just proved the point. Damn, I think you just proved your own point. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, those are things that barbers do generally, right? Like they go to a black barber to get that shit done.
But stop biting my charger. Yeah, my mom been braiding my hair. She gave like these two big braids. I liked it.
So Chris, you would say, if anything, it's more necessary for people who aren't black.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ty?
Puffs out looking funny sometimes.
Oh, I thought he meant that it's more necessary for people who are of color.
No.
Also, but it's less essential.
Less essential.
Because he thinks they look cooler naturally. Is his argument?
What?
What do you do? I think I'm going to be with Ty on this one. Ty, what are your thoughts? Enlighten us.
If we're going with Chris's argument, I'm going to say that it's going to be more essential for people like myself due to the fact, I would say that it's more essential for me being that my hair is a lot more difficult to work with. So just because it look all puffy and fluffy and stuff right now, who's to say when I get off the podcast, I got to wash my hair. That's like 45 minutes of combing, washing, conditioning, blow drying, just to get my hair.
But that's all things you're doing, right?
No, because I don't know how to do all that. I'm still learning my hair. I honestly need help.
From a barber?
Well, from a hairstylist. The barber just come over here and cut the sides. Okay, that's all I need from the barber.
So if you're just cutting the sides, everything else you could pretty much learn on your own if you put in the time.
If I put in the time and I got the tools to do so, probably. Well, I mean, I know I'm still going to need help, so it's like I'm going to need a stylist eventually. I'm not saying I actually do need one because I mean I'm quarantining perfectly fine with my hair and I'm okay. But being for people that have worse hair textures than mine, like they're the ones that actually need a stylist and or a barber.
I definitely don't think it's essential for anybody.
Oh,
but I agree with Ty. I think that, like, you know, with at least for white people, what I can say is, like, our hair is generally really easy to comb and gel, you know, unless you have like super curly hair, and that's rare. So I feel like Ty's got to have it harder, like just, you know, making sure it all stays the way he wants it.
And then oftentimes it doesn't work out the way I want it to. I just wear it out in hopes that I still look good.
You look beautiful, Ty. I'd smash.
Thank you.
Do you have a little sponge for your hair?
I tried it. I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
If anything, it just made my hair tangle up more.
That's the whole point of it.
I'm trying to avoid them tangles because them knots, man, I'm already tender-headed, and when I comb my hair, pulling out knots is not fun.
Let me ask you, what type of oil you use in your hair?
Right now I've been using this olive oil, and I just bought this mixture, essential oil. It's mixed with like 7 different types of oil, and I'm using that to kind of like keep my hair moisturized because lately my scalp has been drying up really quick, and dandruff is not fun nor cute.
You ever tried castor oil?
I would like to.
Try it out, man. When you got it in there, just, you know, massage it. It conditions your hair at the same time, so it makes it softer, and it reduces the amount of dandruff you'll get.
Thank you.
There's another solution. You could go bald like Aang.
Oh, true.
Like easy. That would be a simple solution. Speaking of Aang,
I don't think I'd be cute bald, but yes.
No, you'd look. I don't know. Maybe you could rock it. I think you'd have to grow out your beard a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could look menacing. You could have like a, you know, long thing here and then just like nothing there.
Hey, I'm gonna be like Tenzin.
Yes, exactly. So, as you may have noticed, if you're listening to this weird podcast over the internet, we've been referencing Avatar: The Last Airbender, which has seen like a huge resurgence recently because it was put back on Netflix in the US. Ty, would you like to speak on that? You seem pretty excited.
I'm so happy about it. I just finished rewatching it all, like episode 1 through book 1. Yeah, all the way to book 3, episode 21. We watched it all. So exciting, so exhilarating. Still sends chills down my back. It's beautiful.
It's a great show.
It is. But also because I rewatched it, I've been trying to bring up the argument of who is the better Avatar, Korra or Aang.
This is... Korra. Don't you fucking dare, Chris. Get the fuck out of here.
I wanted to be the antagonist in this, man.
No, it's fine. Somebody has to do it. Because Robert is very passionate about this conversation like I am, I know he's not going to play devil advocate like he normally does.
I have an argument, but I'll wait and see what Chris says.
Look, Aang's running around looking like Krillin or Omi from Shaolin Showdown.
What? Now I know you bullshitting. Now I know.
I'm just fucking with it, man. You know.
Yeah, now I know. You have officially been placed on. You've been separated.
Yeah, no, for real. For real. Him and George.
Mm-hmm. My gosh, that's so terrible. Do you have more to say before we move on to Robert?
Cora's cool, man. I mean, Aang is cool, but you saw he's got the beard going on in the Korra series. So I think I prefer him there because he looks cooler.
Aang.
What?
Adult
Nah.
does look cool.
Yeah,
he's cool,
adult
but
Aang.
he's not. He's I don't know. I prefer him as a kid. He's
Maybe.
cute.
So you trying to say you like little kids?
I like little Aang. I don't know if I like all little kids in general.
Damn. All right.
I support your decision.
So, well, Ty, whose side are you on here, real quick, before I lay out an argument either way?
All right, that's a tough one. It honestly is a tough one because Aang had the best character development out of the two, so that's why I'm honestly leaning more towards Aang.
Wait,
but when you set aside.
Sorry, wait. Can we clarify what is the question exactly? Is it like who's more powerful, who is the better avatar, or like as a person, or like what's the question exactly?
It's a very broad question. So yeah, whatever you want to speak on, that's up to you. It's a very broad question.
Okay, all right, cool.
So as of right now, I'm just saying like character development wise, I would say that. I would say Aang had the best character development over Korra, just because Aang throughout the entire story, Aang was consistent with his development, and despite the consistency, every time he learned something new or he developed himself as a person, you've always felt like you were there with him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, with Korra and her development. Let's be real. Korra was always getting her ass beat. Always. She started off the very first episode thinking that because she's the Avatar, she's all that in the bag of chips just because she mastered the first three elements within her her childhood. So it wasn't until
that pissed me off.
Right. It wasn't until she had her bending taken away by a blood bending water bitch, where she was just like, oh my gosh, I need to take my job more serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Like, no, you should have been taking your job more serious from the beginning. And then on top of that, I just feel like she made a lot of bad decisions throughout her show. Like, I'm the only decision I'm gonna leave alone, just because it becomes very touchy, is the fact that she chose a girl over the two guys that was trying to fight for her. I'm not gonna mess with that.
So you're saying you didn't like it?
Of course.
No,
of course that's what Ty brings up.
I really did like that. I felt like it was very different, being that it was a Nickelodeon show and coming from the Avatar storyline. I felt like it was very different. It was something that we needed to see. It was great. It's just
got pushed in boundaries.
Yeah. Just what
it felt like it wasn't. Sorry, no, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. I'll make it quick. Just what irritated me was that the two brothers that she was fighting with, the Firebender and the Earthbender, she kept choosing the Firebender brother over the Earthbending brother, who clearly liked her more.
Yeah, Mako and Bolin. Yeah.
Bolin was the fire. That was the Earthbender.
Mako was the Firebender and Bolin was the Earthbender.
Yeah, Mako was clearly the fuck boy. He was clearly the fuck boy.
No, for sure.
And the fact that she kept going after Mako and Bolin was like really trying effortlessly to prove himself, like, I like you. And then when she finally came down to the decision, she was like, you know what? Screw both of y'all. I'm going for what's her face. I'm like, okay, like I accept it, but it took you this long. Get your shit together, girl. Get your shit together. So she was highly confused.
I didn't like that there was no real foreshadowing. Like, I would have been fine with it if it seemed like that was the direction it was going, but it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. And I didn't hate it either. I was fine with it, but I didn't love it. But to talk about which Avatar I like better and which one is better, it's clearly Aang. All right, there's no debate here. And the other thing is, I think the one argument you could make is you could say, well, Korra is stronger, right? Because she has all the past avatars, including Aang, right?
She's stronger by one.
Yeah, she's stronger by one,
True.
right? But here's the thing, is she's, by the end of the show, right? And spoilers, but she separates that, right? So it disappears. And so she becomes weaker than Aang. And she was already temperamentally not the best avatar. I think she was very prone to emotional outbursts and shit like that. Aang was always kind of like fair and balanced. He was like a good judge.
Because he's a man.
Who wants to be normal, though, man? Some people don't want to be balanced. Nobody in this world is balanced.
I mean, Aang wasn't normal. Aang was a bald-headed 12-year-old boy who was raised as a monk. That's not normal at all.
He's like Caillou, man. Maybe he has something. I don't know.
Nah, Caillou straight up had cancer. Okay.
True.
Caillou had prolonged cancer. All right. Meanwhile, Aang was bald by choice because when he had his hair growing out in the third book, and once again, spoilers, y'all. I'm sorry. He made the decision to cut it off himself. Like, he could have kept that hair. I thought he was pretty cool with hair, but nah, Homer was like, I'm going back to the roots. I'm cutting this shit off. You know, he went back to the roots. Only thing I will say
on you, Ty.
Hey man. I don't know how good it's gonna look because of my skin color, but I'm down. But just one thing. The only thing I will say.
So who is your pick for real? Don't bullshit me. It's okay if it's Korra, but you got to actually back it up with some logic.
No, my actual pick is forever and always going to be Aang. Aang was dope. You know, Aang. All of his lessons were not even though his lessons that he learned were meant for him. It felt so relatable to home just because of all the wisdom that was spit inside of his show. And then to back it up, he had Iroh. And even though Iroh isn't the main character, he's a consistent character that reminded us about our humanity and how important it is for us to be happy with ourselves and to be expressive with ourselves in order to be the person or be the change that we want to see in the world. You know, like the whole, like, for example, just how his all the lessons that he taught Zuko was not just something for Zuko, it was something that we can all gain. Versus Korra she was always very one-sided. She was like, I'm the best, that's it. You know, it took for very powerful people to come into her life and show her that she needs to be afraid and aware of her job in order for her to actually take it serious. Meanwhile, Aang knew about it from the beginning. He knew how serious his job was from the beginning. And although he tried to take shortcuts and loopholes in order for him to make life a little bit easier, eventually he had to accept the fact that, no, you are the Avatar and your job is serious. And he accepted that. And I feel like for Korra, the developers had to put her in extreme situations. Like, she had to fight a whole spirit. The spirit that is the complete opposite of the Avatar spirit, just to show that she needs to take her job serious. Like, you remember that episode? I know you remember that episode. Well, I thought that was a dope little series. I thought that was dope. At the same time, just like, bruh, like, get your shit together, Korra. Get your shit together. Like, you have to have 4 main villains to show how serious your job is. Meanwhile, Avatar, Aang, had 1 main villain and just side villains to come and mess up the fluctuation of his story. But he had his shit together.
I'm starting to think there's a generational gap between these shows. It's like Aang is the first generation, obviously, the person that has to go through the hard struggle to know what to do and to get shit done. Mm-hmm. And then you have the privileged Korra coming in with all this shit, all the power, having us relearn it and be beat down just to become humble and learn her shit.
Yeah. And she had to have her shit retaught to her several different times. Now, I will say this. Korra is definitely an enjoyable watch. For anybody that's sitting here listening to all the criticism, don't think that Legend of Korra is a bad show. It's still a great show. It just doesn't compare to Aang. You know, Aang set the bar very high for any Avatar show to come out. And I felt like Legend of Korra was an attempt to see, like, could they pull it off again or could they not pull it off again? I personally think that they could pull it off again, possibly, but they're gonna have to set that bar really high again. Like, if Avatar was at a rating like a 99.9, I need the next Avatar show to be a 99.98.
So now here's the question: would you only continue watching it as a show, or would you watch it as a movie as well?
No, not movie. Not movie. Just because that first attempt with a movie, nah. Mm-mm. I mean, unless Netflix got it under control.
I'm on that.
If Netflix got it under control, then by all means do it. Because Netflix, they've been doing great jobs. I mean, of course they had their bad work, but they did more great than bad. So if Netflix got it under control, let them handle that. Other than that, no, stick to the show. Because I like the idea of stretching out their stories so that we can understand them better.
Oh yeah. So if you compare Legend of Korra with like Aang, Legend of Korra and Aang to Dragon Ball Z, it's like you have two different characters. Obviously, both of them are strong as fuck, but one of them is just more. And I think it was meant to be that way so that you can. Well, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, with the generations, you got to teach them some second generation. Except with Vegeta and Goku, you have the Prince of All Saiyans versus a dumbass.
Right.
Like Vegeta knows that his title is there. He's privileged. He's supposed to be this super fucking strong Saiyan because he comes from a higher class. So he's got it down. Cool. But then you have Goku, who is literally a pawn in all of this shit. He's supposed to be weak as fuck and, nothing compared to royalty. And, he lands on Earth, gets dropped on his head, and literally becomes nice, but he's a dumbass. Like,
he's just an overpowered dumbass. I like that.
Exactly. Overpowered dumbass, but he at least knows the essence of hard work and how to get there. And I feel that that's how this whole Avatar series thing ended up going. In my eyes, Aang is Goku, Korra is Vegeta. So all that just to say, I like Goku, so I guess I like Aang. but I have a soft spot for Korra, meaning I have a soft spot for Vegeta.
Jesus. Nah.
I feel like that's an interesting comparison, but I can understand why you say it. For the most part, this was a pretty decent run. And after we sort out all of our stuff, we will come back. So thank you for holding on and being supportive of all of us. Remember, George is a bitch. Don't forget about that.
George is a bitch. Yeah.
George is a bitch. So don't forget about that. And also just some wise words to get you guys through your quarantine. I gotta do this. We are survivors, y'all. We are definitely survivors. If you can wake up in the morning and tell yourself that you made it, it's definitely something worth smiling about. Even though this quarantine shit, it sucks. Trust me. None of us like it. We here at You've Been Served, we don't like it. We miss going to the gym. We miss going to the bar. We miss partying. We miss being together. We miss a lot of stuff. But at the same time, we're doing this right here, right now, because we want to play things smart. We want to be the reason why there's a successful and a positive change in our community rather than add to the problems in our community. So with that being said, you got to also contribute to this. Be the change that you are looking for. Continue to support the quarantine and, survive. We're going to make it through this. All right. Just continue to put the right foot forward, and the left one too, but continue to put your best foot forward in hopes that things make it through. Because we gonna make it through, y'all. We gonna make it through. We are survivors. That's what we've been doing for a long time. We've been doing it for during this quarantine. If you want to take it down to a cultural level, we as Black people, we've been surviving. I'm sure Chris and his culture, they've been surviving. Big Rob,
y'all been surviving.
Thriving.
There you go. In that case, y'all, we're gonna go ahead. I don't want to make Big Rob's job too difficult along with all these technical difficulties, but I'm gonna end it right here. With that being said, y'all, it's been Ty,
Chris, and that's Robert.
That's Big Rob. I hope he hear himself. I hope on his end he can hear himself say it's Big Rob.
Yeah.
All right, but just know that we have been served. We love you guys, and we're gonna continue to do everything that we can to make sure that we post out more content so that we can continue to have y'all support. All right. But in that, I'm done. Because y'all know what it's been. It's been you've been served. Now I need to go put my pussy away. All right.